Tomith, Cern, and Grove in the back. In the midfield line, you have Jensevsky, Cassidy, Cesari, and Chico. On the left is Keen, on the right is Furphy, and up on top is Gomez.
It's going to be a bit of a battle here, and just as we were expecting it for Myanmar, we're going in with a pretty much usual lineup. Myonain, of course, will take up defensive responsibilities. Need the bar, Piu Pei and Zun U will assist her. On the left and right wing backs, we've got Myon Mint and Lin U. Piu Win, of course, will be the main distributor, along with Nawai and Kinthun up front in attack in the midfield. Yukin and Santor will be on the wings, right behind Win Pengithun, who is also, well, the main player as far as Myanmar is concerned. Very interesting here, you know, Isabel Gomez playing up in front today, Natasha. I was expecting, of course, to see that face of McKenna up there, and also keep in mind the fact that you've got three ladies up front who can make the difference. Furphy along with Keen and Gomez as they get into this game. So Myanmar, of course, claiming bragging rights in that first event in the group stage where they got the better of Australia 2-1. But having said that, the past is the past and new beginnings always count. Up front, the Myanmar captain chasing it down. Australia will take defensive measures. Do keep in mind the fact that when Australia did play Vietnam, they hit the ground running hard. That's Joe Palacides of Australia, who is the coach. And he has been a very, very, well, inspirational coach. I do believe, we've said that to him, you know, when we had a chance, that Australia have been the most progressive team, well, in this event. What will they bring to the table today? Let's find out. Let's not forget that Myanmar themselves are really a force to reckon with. And while there's a balance between these two nations, 2 wins apiece and 1 game drawn, whoever wins it today will reign numero uno. Now here's Uki Tetsuro, the coach of Myanmar, and he has been a star in his own right. Did play for a couple of clubs in Japan, including Yokohama F. Marinos, Oita Trinita. He also has over 378 odd club appearances, if I'm not mistaken. 379, yes, along with 8 goals, and he was a center back. So he does employ quite a defensive back line for his team. And Myanmar, the front line, of course, is led by one person. Here's Furphy taking it forward for Team Australia. Well, Furphy has to deal with that very, very inspirational Piu Win. So very, very easy start so far, but having said that, Natasha, just 2 minutes into play.
And of course, Myanmar in the group stage, when these two teams met, it was Myanmar who won 2-1 against them, goals by Mint and as well as by Win Pengithun.
Wasn't that the only other goal that was struck besides Win Thun?
So definitely, so of the 8 goals that Myanmar have scored throughout this tournament, 7 of which were scored by Win Pengithun. So you can tell that she is such an impact player for the side of Myanmar, and they will definitely be leaning on their captain to lead the squad to get that bragging right. The last time Myanmar were in the finals of this tournament was in 2015, so it's been 10 years since then. And a win today for Myanmar could really impact and shift how women's football is seen in Myanmar.
Well, I would have said very clearly, you know, Win Pengithun is a show-off. But I'm not going to say that because she's actually the top scorer in this event. Absolutely phenomenal, just as you rightfully put it. You know, the journey of Myanmar to this finale has literally been shouldered by her, and she's such an amazing player to watch. Having said that, we've got quite an amazing lineup of stars, including the ladies in defense. And, well, that's got to be the funniest. You know, just an apology there from Kinthun. And Keen says, bring on the card. Well, that's not going to happen too early, yeah. But these young ladies do play hard. Don't mistake them by the difference in size. They're physically very, very strong. So interesting battle here today, and as we said, this is not the same Australia that played in the first game. We've seen how they've gone in leaps and bounds ahead. Here's Holly Furphy.
Even when you think of the lineup of the players who are playing now as compared to the first time that they went against each other in the Group B opening fixture, a lot of changes since then. Change on who was playing goalkeeper, with their back line, even with that midfield role, as well as with the attacking line.
I think by the time that Australia actually got to the semi-finals, they pretty much decided on who was going to play what position and who was going to hold their own. So, which is why I think Coach Pilatsides has kept his, promise and just made very minimal changes. Corner opportunity fairly early. That will be taken by Janchevsky. Alana Janchevsky.
She is a player who plays for Melbourne Victory. She scored a goal against the defending champions, the Philippines, but ultimately took them out of the tournament. And after Australia's first loss, they've never looked back since and have been on a great trajectory.
Well, her dad, Tony, is a big supporter of Melbourne Victory, lifelong supporter, and does more than just support the team. He also influences others to follow the team, which is very interesting. I'm sure he got to his daughter as well. Well, Pewin rises. Janchevsky will take the kick. Australia still in command here. What an opportunity, I do believe. And that is exactly how the goal was scored the other day when Australia were in the semi-final, but this time Myanmar holding strong. And safe hands there from Myon Nain. Oh, that is exemplary work in defence to keep that Australian attack at bay. And even if it means a rumble in the Bronx, they've got it covered.
And literally defensive line clearance. We know how Australia can be so dangerous on the attack, most especially from set pieces. That's how they got the win over the host country, Vietnam. Was taking advantage of a set piece opportunity from a corner kick and able to convert in the first 6 minutes of the match.
Absolutely. So, Win Thieng Yithun, of course, doing well to set that ball up. It was well marked heavily by Keane, and that's going to be the first opportunity. Won't find the target, but every single attack you take forward will count. And Piu Win, oh, she's another exciting player to watch in this squad. It's got the ability to turn on the heat at the right time. Knew she was obstructed, and I do believe that this really is probably the instruction. You get the ball, you have vision of the goal, take the shot.
Piu Piu Win, of course, a young player for Myanmar, but already such an impact. She came from U16, the U19 national team, before making her way to the senior women's team. She has 9 key passes so far in this tournament and will definitely play a key role in this finals matchup.
And wearing the captain's armband here today for Team Australia, well, I do believe it's Tamet. And well, they've had a bit of rotation with that as well, but just to figure out who would lead best. Keane with an arm there, and well, one of the players I've really watched right through the entire length of this tournament has been Lin U. Well, it just seems like any other girl next door. She's a very hardy defender, and standing right there in the path of Keane, does get the nudge from Keane, and much to the advantage of Myanmar. So Myanmar currently, while still settling in, they're taking this game to Team Australia, which of course is a good thing, but Australia do have just that tad bit of an advantage when it comes to physicality. Is that going to impact the game? Oh, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's so unpredictable between teams like this. And this is not the group stage anymore, so both of them very well aware. It's the last step, the ultimate stage. And here you either get crowned or you wait for another year and another tournament to come by.
But when you think of the journey of Myanmar in this tournament, they will also be coming to this game with that confidence, because knowing that they've already beat Australia, regardless of who they fielded. It was the goal line that stayed that they won 2-1. So they also have that confidence coming into this finals that it is very much possible to beat a team that is so good with possession, that has that height advantage. But it was in Myanmar in that first matchup that was so clinical to get them that win. As we said, this is a different day, a different game. This is the final, so anything can happen.
It's a very interesting take, in a conversation with Coach Tetsuro Uki, and he said, confidence versus complacency. And that's something that you can't do with Team Australia because, they play hard. And I think, it's not just about from the starting block, but they just generally play hard. Sport for them is such a serious business. And you see them warming up, you see them cooling down. It's such a dedication involved at the end of the day. They thrive on it. Having said that, opportunities galore, you would think. Well, Keen's in there along with Gomez. And these ladies can create all sorts of problems. Straight into the waiting arms of Myeon-in. She'll be happy about that for the time being. Almost 10 minutes in, Australia versus Myanmar. And we do know that Keen can create all sorts of worries. Has 2 goals in the bag in this tournament. Wouldn't take it lightly if I was in the opposition. Bit of a loose pass there. Myanmar won't be able to do too much with it. And Lincoln, were casting that ball away. I thought she would have actually left it. Just trying to avoid the opposition from getting an opportunity, but they have. And every throw will be taken into account. It looks like it's Lin Hu who will do the honors.
And also with Myanmar, as we talked about Win Teng-Yitun earlier, she averages 0.96 goals per international outing.
It's almost 100% strike rate, isn't it?
Exactly. So she's 14th in the list of top international women's goal scorers. So she just gives that boost of confidence as well for Myanmar.
Such an amazing footballer, and we're looking at a journey that she's played in, all these different countries. She's played in India for Odisha and then for the Kerala club. She plays for Sabah FA. She's played in Myanmar. She's a well-traveled lady, a young lady, and pretty much a favorite with every league that she's played for. Absolutely, wonderful athlete. Here she is back again on top of it. Bit of a long delivery, but I'll take it from here, says Lincoln. I've got him covered, goals. I do see Chloe Lincoln did have a lot of support the other day from a defense, but she put on a stellar performance. And I think today, last game, I'm expecting something spectacular here from her as well.
And if for Myanmar, Win Teng-Yitun takes the crown for 7 goals, top scorer so far for this tournament. But for the side of Australia, they're dangerous on the left, on the right, up on top. Keen, Jansevsky, and Furphy all with 3 goals apiece.
I was expecting Jansevsky to actually score in the semi-final, but just getting back to that numbers game, you're looking at, if you look at Thailand, Madison Castine, the number 17 is 17 years old. You look at Win Teng-Yitun, the number 7 has 7 goals to credit. Absolutely love the numbers in that. It's going to be interesting, of course. Would have thought if a number 12 would have probably got a dozen in. A bit of groundwork being done here. Cassini! Bring a surprise, and Gomez, along with Cassidy and Jansevsky, can prove to be such a big threat here. Corner opportunity for Team Australia, and that's Cassidy with that left foot. Well, that clear side of the target, decided to go bang on. But an absolutely wonderful stop once again from the Myanmar keeper. And this is what Australia are intending to do. They're not looking at splitting the defense. They're not looking at anything spectacular. It's all about scoring those goals. Corner opportunity, Cassidy will get down to it. It's a picked up back, delivery into the goal area. The back header will be kept away. Oh, precision back header, would have found the target.
But the defense of Myanmar working double time, helping out the goalkeeper every time, dealing with those corner kicks. But Australia, of course, as well, able to find those passes, connecting in the attacking third, taking their chances from distance.
I think that's going to be the name of the game in this event. It's not about waiting for that perfect moment. It's about just taking whatever you can. Free kick opportunity, yeah, thanks to Mr. Mina from Myanmar. Jansevsky stepping up to do the honors. Always a joy to watch this young lady in action. Has made an impression in the tournament. Makes a big impression as far as well, her club play is concerned in Australia. "14 minutes in. Janchevsky, smartly done here, goes in for a low one. Just a gentle curve on that. Moment, alert to the danger. And the Myanmar keeper has done well here. She's another one of those unsung heroes, isn't she? You know, when you think about it, Myeon. She's, well, just done her job day in and day out. And we, of course, have a couple of the statistics to look at.
69% possession for Australia and 31% for Myanmar. Myan has been fantastic at the goalkeep for Myanmar. 20 appearances already, and she plays for Titsar Arman WFC in the Myanmar Women's League.
Australia have had two close efforts on goal as far as Myanmar concerned, and I think that's really telling us a story back again, you know. But this Australia is a bit different from the one that we saw at the semi-final. That was a sharp-toothed Australia. This, to me, is a more balanced team, and I think that Coach Palatsidis would have been very, very aware of the fact that Myanmar can attack at will all of a sudden. So that strike between balance and defense has been really, really good, and or that balance between strike and defense. And it's a big question as to whether Myanmar can break through that. And the other question is, how well is Myanmar going to defend against that Australian attack, who, just as you did see earlier, Natasha, love to play up front. They love to get as close as possible, and that can be intimidating at times.
The thing with the game as well, even though Australia are good at keeping possession, as we've seen with the stats alone, no team can keep possession for the full 90 minutes. There will be key moments wherein the opposition will have possession, and it's going to be crucial for Myanmar to be clinical on the few chances that they do get.
Well, I would think so, yes. Tamet just restoring it to Cassidy. Cassidy is looking for Keane, but finds Lin U instead. The outside. We've got Grove right behind. Straight back to Tamet. It's very interesting. Janchevsky.
When you think of the quality that Australia bring to this tournament, these are 23 of Australia's best young footballers, all of whom play at the A-League, so the top division of women's football in Australia.
Big support there for Team Australia. Did I see a Roo in there as well? Was that a kangaroo? I think it was. Well, I don't know if you've ever been for if you've ever been for an Australian rugby outing where they are called the Wallabies, and there'll be like a stand full of lads in Wallaby costumes. It almost looks like a national park out there. Always a joy to see mascots turn up. Always a joy to see fans turn up. Dressed in costume. Absolutely wonderful. Back to the action on pitch. Let's remind you that this is the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. It's the finale. Well, unfolding right before us as Australia and Myanmar battle it out. As we said, 5 occasions that these teams have met. This is the 6th. And it will be very, very interesting to see how this game plays out. It's been a cautious start. I'm not saying there haven't been chances, but it's been fairly cautious. Chico restoring it back to Cassidy. Well, Cassidy decides to get it to Cern.
And as we said, it is the final, so everything on the line, everything to gain winning this final matchup. Myanmar, known of course
as... If you have to ask Australia that, they're going to say everything on the goal line.
It's the Matildas against the Asian Lionesses. And it's a good turnout here as well at the Lak Chai Stadium. Despite the host country already being eliminated, you can sense how much football means to the Vietnamese as a country in general to be here to support the finale of this matchup.
Absolutely wonderful crowd, you know. Hats off to the host nation. You know, a lot of the Vietnamese supporters in the stand opposite us have stayed on. And you know what's the beauty of it all? They're keeping the same music going that they did for their team, and now they're neutral. They're basically backing both teams, enjoying the sport. Up close and personal, you would believe, but that's pulled away just in time. Defensive measures being taken by the Australia back line. And this time around, it is Yu Keen who gets really, really close. She's a sneaky customer. Got in on that. But I do believe Australia do have it covered for the time being. It's going to be a corner opportunity, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it? That huge dependence or reliance on Win Thieng Yithun has slightly shifted with a few other players coming up now with the attack. And that's definitely a plan from the coach. It's going to be a free kick opportunity. One for Myanmar as Lin U is down. Another clash there with Keen.
And a quick shift in momentum for Myanmar. Yu Perkin doing really well to put on that pressure on the defense of Australia. They win the throw in. Eventually now Lin Leu wins a foul in a dangerous area.
Yes, Piu Win to take the corner kick. A free kick, sorry. And always a joy for any team to get closer to the opposition's goal. It's up in the air, collected safely by Lincoln with outstretched arms gratefully. Chloe Linen just keeping the area safe for the time being. A little over 20 minutes into this encounter, and while Tamet gets those laces on tighter, I do believe this game has also got a lot tighter than where it started off. It's been a few good attacks on goal from Australia. Myanmar, of course, coming up with their own reply. Shu worries. Sometimes you just got to get back down to ground level to stay humble. I'm just saying that in fun, but that's...
And a closer look as well as Chloe Lincoln. Really good at dealing with those set piece opportunities, getting her full hands to it. Goalkeeper plays for Brisbane Roar.
Well, there used to be a point of time in Queensland when that roar was so loud. And now, of course, you know, there's still some of the stalwarts actually of the A-League in the men's and the women's division. Brisbane Roar, Melbourne Victory, Perth Glory. We've got a couple of them in here today. You know, ladies who play for them. And Cassidy, she plays for Perth Glory. So interesting here. As these ladies carry on the legacy of Australian women's football, there could be an opportunity in disguise here. Keane says, 5 times I've been knocked over, pull out the card. Well, the referee says, let's get a free kick underway. Oh, definitely a tackle, there's no doubt about it. Linu did stick a foot out, and it's a bit hard to catch her because she's smaller in stature. That's the trick, the name of the game, isn't it? If you issue a tackle, and I think Balatsides is not happy about that. He's having a chat there with the 4th official, Pansa Chaisanit. Balatsides, well, that conversation will be done and dusted, and so will that free kick be. Stick an arm out, direct that ball away as Cassidy is kept at bay. Oh, did I just rhyme there?
It's a great ball from Cassidy, and the most important of punches from Nyen. But even how that set piece opportunity happened, Keane has been so good on that left-hand side, speedy player, draws in the foul.
It's a corner opportunity here, taken by Yanchevsky. It's a bit too far with the delivery, and well, the Myanmar captain will just have it screened as the team do get possession. So 23 minutes in, it's still goalless here at the Loc Choi Stadium in Hai Phong, Vietnam. It's been a very good day, and I must say that all of us here, not just Natasha and me, but the production team, the teams themselves, the contingents that have traveled, the officials, we are just happy about one thing: the weather. It's been a really good day, and although I said it was 28 degrees Celsius, it actually feels like it's about 24, 25. So it's a very, very pleasant day for us, and we're really happy about it. Straight off back here. A quick tap back from Cesare earlier. Always a joy here to watch. Well, this young lady in action, she was a bit of trouble for the Vietnamese side. Actually, not a bit, she was a whole lot of trouble. And Gomez is back in. Temet, well, centers that. Stretched to the outside by Cassidy, who would have been looking for Keane. Straight back to Cassidy. And that's played well, absolutely well there to steal possession. But, the Myanmar captain will win the benefit of that call, and she's not happy about it. She's not happy about that challenge at all. Very smartly done there. Quick pass from Kim Thun to her captain. I did think that was it wasn't a hard challenge, it's just to follow through that was.
But Australia, of course, know that for Myanmar, Wintengitun is the target man, the target player for them. And so Tometh just made sure that she would not get any chance on the ball. But that was great work from Kin Momotun, the interception, and to try to find the pass and the run of Wintengitun.
Well, that's kind of deja vu all over again, and as Pew Win gets ready to will take the kick, decides to go in short here. And just a quick pass to Lemyon Mint. Oh, there could be something in here. Unable to convert here. Wintengitun was obstructed, but she knows it. Golden opportunity, not in disguise, but out there in the open. And Lincoln will definitely have a sigh of relief. Having said that, Chloe Lincoln's pretty much gone about every day at the office in a very meticulous manner, so not going to take anything away from her. It's been solid performances from her. Here's Cassidy back again. Decides to bring Gomez in on it. And Gomez stepping it straight up to Chico. Just a spot of trouble you would expect. Another one-touch pass from Gomez to Cassidy. Oh, lovely through pass there. I would have loved to have seen a finish here, but having said that, I'll say one thing for certain. I was just taking a look at the goals, over a period of time and how they've gone about their business here today. And I think for my money, well, one of the strong ladies certainly has been, Georgie Cassidy. She's played a very good role in this early part of the game. It's been great with distribution, great with assists here. Actually playing the part that Gomez did, because probably Gomez is playing up front. And I love the way that the Australian coach has reworked this. He's kept pretty much the same lady, swapped a few positions around, changed responsibilities. You know what's the best part? The goals listen to him.
And a lot of progress has been made for the side of Australia. Well, for Myanmar, they've been very consistent all throughout this tournament. And they take really good orders from their coach, Tetsuro Uki. They've been playing so compact defensively and have timed their interceptions really well. The few chances that they did have, they did create troubles in the back for Australia.
There's always this big debate that men's football, of course, has a little bit more of pace, can be more physically aggressive. But there are some teams, like with Myanmar, and they kind of just do away with that debate. They're physically strong, extremely fast. I think they'd give the men's fan following a run for their money as well. They're absolutely wonderful to watch them. And what a powerhouse they were at one point of time with that inaugural tournament and then the next one in the Women's ASEAN Championship. I think it's been a bit of a comeback trail for them. And quite a joy to see that happen.
And of the 13 editions of this tournament, Myanmar, on their 13th appearance as well, have always made it to the semifinals. So they've always had a top 4 finish. And this year, as we said, it's been 10 years since their last finals appearance. They want to take it a step further and to get back to those glory days that they did back in 2004 and 2007.
What a time that was, isn't it? Myanmar really setting the tone, setting an example for other teams to follow. Australia, of course, coming into the event in 2008, and I do remember that there was that semi-final meeting between Australia and Myanmar, and Australia at that point of time won it 5-1, and they eventually went on to win their first ever ASEAN Women's Championship title. Well, since then, of course, the team met in 2013 and 2015 as well, not to forget 16, and this year. How important was that game in that first group stage? So closing in on the half an hour mark here, let's once again remind you that this is the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. We are coming at you live from Haipong, and it's the Lak Chai Stadium, which is the venue for this event. At this point of time, after 13 minutes in, it's still Australia 0, Myanmar 0. Another free kick opportunity for Team Australia. And I do like the way that Chico's just got up and said, let's get on with the match. Well, Chico did get a knock there. It was an obstruction more than a collision. And living life, I think, a tad bit dangerously. She had a caution in the last game. Know why.
And Yanchevsky, designated free kick taker as well for the side of Australia.
That's up in the air, an opportunity to carve something out of it, but Myanmar have got it covered. That inability to clear it can cause all sorts of worries, but to be fair to her, Piu Win does stick to her guns. Not for too long. Bit of a tangle there as the Myanmar captain just gets into the path of Grove. Sasha Grove, who plays for Western United. It's another one of the teams that's really popular in women's football. I do remember there was a point of time when, it's the main states that had all the glory, just as we mentioned, Melbourne, Perth, Brisbane. Well, it started shifting out a bit.
So there are 2 players who play for Western United, Grove and Cern, who are on the starting lineup as well in this matchup. As you may know, there are some troubles right now with their club, so the opportunity to play at this level also allows them to get scouted on different levels, whether they stay with the team or to get opportunities to play elsewhere.
Absolutely, and that joy of wearing your country's colors, on your chest. That's another feeling altogether. Well, Lin Hu once again gets that ball away. Yes, Piu Win. Piu also very active down that center. Gomez gets to it in time. Ball's pulled away from her. Well, no foul will be called here for No Why. So let's remind you that while we're still very much in the thick of things here, let's just say that this game ends in a stalemate or an even score. It will go into extra time. Let's just say that extra time ends in a stalemate or an even score. It will go down to the penalty shootout. Let's just say the penalty shootout will settle it. So that's pretty much what it is. 33 minutes in, still goalless here. That one's going to be tucked ahead. Just an opportunity that she wants to look at, and it's May Mong Mint.
And how this game has been, it's all going to boil down to those small, fine margins. Both teams not giving an inch.
Santor, we're right behind it. Will also collect it. They're taking control of the situation, and she's done well. Keen. Right there at the receiving end. The move
So
from Yu Keen.
Yuberkin, of course, gets the start in this matchup. As compared to the semi-finals, it was Maitet Liu who was in that first 11. And Yuberkin, 32 appearances, 4 goals to her name. Plays for Shan United. A little bit worrisome seeing Win Teng Yitun down on the pitch for Myanmar.
And it's a bit of a juxtaposition if you look at it, because you're looking at normally your teammate being down on the pitch, but the girls will still take that opportunity to have a few words with the coach and to get rehydrated. Nothing like it. Coaches from both sides, they do know the weight of this contest. They do know how important it is and how prestigious it is for their team to pull off a win here.
For the side of Myanmar, their journey here has been, first of all, opening their account on a great note, getting a win versus Australia in the group stage, and then winning again against Timor-Leste, and then getting that draw against the defending champions, the Philippines. They put them at the #1 seed in Group B. So they faced Thailand in that semi-finals matchup. They took the win 2-1.
Oh, what a joy it was, isn't it? That absolutely phenomenal game for them. They've had a good journey in this tournament, not to forget that amazing game that they had against Thailand. It was, well, everyone expected a different ending.
And of course, for the side of Australia, as we said, they lost their opening fixture, but they quickly bounced back, getting that 1-0 win against the defending champions of Philippines, and then boozing with confidence, getting the 9-0 win against Timor-Leste. They faced Vietnam in the semi-finals against the home team and created the biggest upset in this tournament, winning 2-1 against them. Before these two teams face again right now in the finals.
So Piu Win will take the free kick for Team Myanmar, and that's well after Cassidy was guilty of bringing down No White. It's going to lie loose for a little bit, but that's a very good recovery there to get the ball away, and I think she's played that well. And this is what you really require. You've got to come up with a backup plan. You've got to do what you can do, and smartly done by Thurpey to get the ball out of harm's way. Well, straight down the right wing. There might be something in here rushing ahead, but Lincoln just won't allow it. And I do believe her plan here today would be to be as stingy as possible. And it wasn't even the Myanmar captain who was the closest, so there is a very good bit of study that's been done. Now, what I do like about the way the Australian team has played is that they also do read the game and not just follow instructions blindly. Having said that, so do Myanmar. They've kind of made out a few weak spots that they can attack from, and I do believe that they have exploited them every time they've got that opportunity. Back to the teams on the pitch. It's still goalless, and we still have about 7.5 minutes or a little bit more left in this period.
Australia with 4 attempts, 3 on target. With Myanmar, they've had 3 attempts, 2 of which were on target. It's been a busy day for both goalkeepers, actually.
You know those days when you actually have goalkeepers who have their teams doing all the attacking and the ball never comes back into their half? And I always picture them sitting there having a good cup of tea with a couple of scones. Today, it looks like the goalkeepers are the ones making the tea. They've been called into action, you know, at both sides again and again. And that's how serious this encounter is. That's the kind of value and weight that it carries with it. And I do love the fact that, you know, the ASEAN has got this tournament to delight all the female football fans, the women who love to play, not just the lads, and of course the lads who support them.
Also, of course, the growth of this tournament in general. And you could hear that all the way up here.
Absolutely, we did. It's a bit of a thump. Tamet was definitely involved.
50-50 challenge between Tumeth and Yu Per Kin.
And I think that's what Coach Uki was pointing out. He says I think it's going to go back to an appeal. He said it was a hard knock, and you can hear him. He's saying it's not okay.
It's a feeling that it starts out and it's a dangerous play.
That's interesting, isn't it? It's an international tournament and a Japanese referee talking to a Japanese coach. What I love about it, they've just gone about conversing with it in the normal language, which is English here. That's a joy of football, isn't it? It just stretches across boundaries and languages and everything. And the Myanmar fans, what a joy. Tasha, very, very impressive. They sang the national anthem louder than everyone else.
And though this is happening in Vietnam, you could feel the presence really of the Myanmar fans making their way here, as well as the Vietnamese fans who have stayed on after, of course, Vietnam getting that third place finish win against Thailand 3-1 earlier today.
Choice opportunity, I would have believed here. Getting right behind it was Chico. We still have, I think the Myanmar captain's got an issue. Natasha, this could spell a bit of trouble here for the team. She's been down twice. I do believe it's that physical play that's causing her a worry. We'd love to see her play the entire, length and breadth of this tournament. Having said that, corner opportunity for Team Myanmar. Thun still holding on. The attempt to create something lost on both sides of the half line.
And you have to give it to the Myanmar players. They're really wearing their hearts on their sleeves as they defend for every corner opportunity, just to make sure that this remains 0-0 between the two squads.
And I think we are going to need a stretcher here. Goes up in the air, didn't get a view too much of what transpired there. And I think it's a knee issue. We're asking for a change. Could see her wincing in pain very, very badly earlier. There's been a few collisions for these young ladies on the pitch.
You could see the team of Australia just huddling up, trying to figure out how to get past this Myanmar team that have been so defensively organized, that had to make sure that they had the numbers down. And you could see the passion even in the fans of the Myanmar squad, of how important this game is to them.
It's a bit unfortunate here, and to see, well, young Yu Keen down, and that's just to look back at what Coach Uki was saying, and he was saying that is a sharp tackle. It's a pretty hard tackle, and it should have been called. And I think that's the reason why he was livid about it. He knew what was going to transpire, and Yu Keen definitely has taken a knock to the leg. There's a bit of impact there that's affected the knee, but having said that, we will have a change coming off as Yu Keen, well, will be replaced, and it's going to be interesting because coming in for her, it's going to be Sui Thun. Sui Thun replaces Yu Per Keen. Having said that, we are closing in on 45 minutes here. We will have a bit of added time thrown in for stoppages.
Valiant effort from Yu Per Kin before forcibly having to be subbed out, and in her place it's going to be Shui Yi Tun. 10 appearances, 6 goals for her. 22-year-old. The tall order to ask.
There will be a bit more of added time here, not just the regular 2 or 3 minutes, there's no doubt about it. That's Temet.
But it's definitely been a tight contest between these two squads. And that's definitely what happens in a finals like this, with everything on the line, all boiling down to this last matchup.
Well, here's Win Thun back again. Needs to get that in. She's still very much with it. Decides to take the strike. It's a bit of a trickle. And it's not going to scare anybody at this point of time, as Lincoln says, oh, that's just going to come to me. Well, I can't blame her. She's well known to come up with electrifying strikes. Well, needed to take that before any obstruction, and I think it was more an impulse. Having said that, here's the odd bit about Win Thun. Whether she takes a clean strike or whether she takes a shot in the duck, it's 99.9% accuracy bound. 7 minutes of added time, that's what we have in this game, or in this period.
But Myanmar, so quick to be able, once they do have possession, able to find the run of Win Tun. She was able to cut herself some space to take a shot. There's not enough power on that shot that she took.
Yanchevsky, one of the future stars of Australian football, already well known. Free kick opportunity here for Vietnam. Liu Kuei rather assisting a goalkeeper than taking the free kick. Here's Gomez. Always know that she's going to create a stir. Chico. Let's get Temet in. It's back to Isabel Gomez.
She's definitely such a dynamic player, Isabel Gomez, because even when the defenders or attacking players put pressure on her back, she's quickly able to make those turns, keep possession.
Well, she's just that kind of player. When she gets the ball, you know something's going to happen, whatever it is. It could be just a few quick attacks, it could be, a few quick exchanges, but there's always something that's going to happen with her around. Oh, that could have been such an effort! Such an effort here. And you would have thought that Grove wanted to assist, but that's some spectacular play from her. Weaves her way through, has 4 players around her. Decides to take the shot. It's past the near post. And of course, the Myanmar keeper, well, just able to do the needful here. So it will be another opportunity in disguise, a corner here for Team Australia.
But what work from Sasha Grove? Technically so sound, able to dribble her way through the defenders, find the smallest of gaps in between the two to take a shot, forcing a save, and now a corner in their favor.
So Cassidy takes the corner. It's going to be up in the air for a little bit. Still very much with it, and I think that's just a good bit of damage control being done by Team Myanmar. It's going to sail out of play. Talk about Sasha Grove, and she's going to take the throw in here. Well, that was really a fine piece of dribbling from her. Don't see footballers doing that too often today. And she's, well, such a talented young lady. Here goes Furpy. We'll slip it back to Yanchevsky. Oh, that's pulled away. Quick thinking. Absolutely smart attack, but not for too long. And taking the weight of that fall. Well, Monmint has picked it up, but it's Santor who's down. And I do believe that should have been called. Well, there was a bit of physical play there. And you don't want the Myanmar players all getting knocked out like 9 pins one by one. And And this is how it planned out. It's definitely a tackle there from Cassidy first. She still stays with it. Then Sun gets to it. Well, she returns the favor, Santo, and Cassidy just piles on top of her. So, a stitch for a stitch here. But it can be a worry. Play will resume. No worries about that. Keep in mind the fact that we still have, well, a few more minutes of added time. Remember, 7 minutes were added. We've had a couple of injuries here. Well, this game has been very, very, well, fast, and it has been physical as well. And Santo's taken another knock. But on the right flank, Australia will still do the needful. It's Verpi. Well, has got Chisari going in. Yes, Tamet. And Gomez will receive it back. And we've still got Santo, who's down on the pitch. The referee will take that into account at some point of time. And that's up in the air, and as it sails out, I do believe. Well, the referee will have to take that. She's taken 2 knocks, actually. And I do believe that one knock to her back earlier. That could definitely be detrimental. Because, well, Cassidy is not heavy in any sort of way, but it's the impact of falling over. And it really depends the angle, the back of the head and your back. How fragile is that, even for an athlete, when you talk about it, Natasha?
Santautau, also a dangerous player for Myanmar.
And it's the second time she just collapsed, which will tell you that that first knock, that's the thing that really happened.
It was how the first part transpired.
And she's a bit dizzy.
Bit shaken up. Which spells of just how the physical battle between these two teams have been. Myanmar were already forced to make an early substitution with Yu Perkin.
I'm trying to figure out why the Lionesses of the ASEAN are playing Baby Shark, though. That's the tune that's been playing for the longest time. Well, the Myanmar keeper will return that ball back into field of action. It's going to be, well, just closing time as we head towards the end of that first 45. To be honest and without a lie, it's already 52. But we did have a stoppage there with, Santo needing to be treated. And I think it's a good thing that they had a look at her, at least get the ice back on. So while play continues here, it's still a very, very tight battle. And, well, there may be no goals for the count, but keep in mind the fact that these two teams know what they're doing. Interesting, though, because, I was thinking that we would have had at least one player to come in, or one team to come in from Group A. But it's Group B actually dominated this tournament. Having said that, big pass forward, and that's straight into the waiting arms of the Australian defense, so no worries here for the green and gold. The Matildas will be happy. Well, they did have a few attempts on goal, but it's Keane receiving it from Gomez. And that's pretty much what I think the teams would have been happy with. They were expecting another corner, but it's the end of the first period. It's been a goalless half, but what a battle between the two. A couple of shots on goal, and Natasha's going to break that down for you when we get back into the game. It's been a very, very interesting matchup so far. So at half-time, it's still as even Stevens at the Lok Choi Stadium in Haiphong. And what a joy for both of us as we've gone through it. So tough bit of action, Natasha.
very physical matchup in that first half. As we said, everything on the line. This is the finals. Myanmar definitely holding their own against a very physically strong Australia. They've been forced to make substitutions early, but still deadlock. No one with the advantage coming into the half.
So that's pretty much how the first half actually panned out. A couple of shots on goal, but nothing to change the scoreline. It's Australia 0, Myanmar 0 at halftime. Stay with us. We'll be back with you in just a little bit when second half resumes in the finale of the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
du lịch giảm 10% thu bảo hiểm du lịch từ MSIG bao tiền lãi ở FA 2025 thời hạn ưu đãi đến hết ngày 2 tháng 9 2025. Khách hàng có thể mua bảo hiểm du lịch trực tuyến từ MSIG. Bảo hiểm cá nhân, bất kỳ có bảo hiểm cá nhân nào của MSIG giá trên 1 triệu đồng sẽ nhận được bóc theo từ Family Car. Link vực của MSIG tại MSIG tới tính năm trên bảng giới hạn, số lượng quà tặng có hạn, thời hạn ưu đãi đến hết ngày 2 tháng 9 2025. Khách hàng phải truy cập website của MSIG để có các sản phẩm bảo hiểm cá nhân, bảo hiểm du lịch, nhà, lên cơ giới, tai nạn cá nhân và nhiều nữa. Xin chào tất cả mọi người, chúng tôi ban tổ chức những hoạt động vô cùng đặc biệt ở kỳ sự kiện tại MSIG Learning Cup 2015. Đó chính là thử thách Fan Cam của MSIG. Chỉ trong vài giây nữa thì Fan Cam sẽ bắt đầu quét khán đài và yêu cầu của quý vị thì vô cùng đơn giản. Nếu cameraman quay đúng quý vị thì đấy là lúc quý vị hãy tạo cho mình chiếc pose hình đẹp nhất, dễ thương và pose hình đẹp nhất và dễ thương nhất sẽ nhận được một phần quà vô cùng thú vị từ ban tổ chức. Đó chính là một global memory card phiên bản giới hạn, siêu hiếm và dễ thương. Như vậy, nếu quý vị thấy mình trên màn hình lớn thì đừng ngại ngùng, hãy thử hiện tại ở đây trong tâm trường quý vị và hãy cho mình tôi thấy pose đẹp nhất của tất cả mọi người. Xin trân trọng cảm ơn. Và ngay bây giờ, Fan Cam sẽ bắt đầu sau 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bắt đầu. Đầu tiên của ban tổ chức trong ngày hôm nay, vâng, quý vị có thể thấy rằng thì phần chơi thì vô cùng đơn giản, luật lệ thì cũng đơn giản không kém. Tất cả những gì quý vị phải làm là chỉ đơn giản hãy tự tin lên, tự tin quay cảm tính, quay hình ảnh của mình lên trên fan cam của chúng tôi và sẽ có những phần vô cùng thú vị dành cho quý vị. Và fan cam lại tiếp tục được di chuyển đi lên địa. Và đúng rồi, gia đình phải khuôn mặt rất dễ thương, vô thì cũng là xinh xắn và dễ thương nữa. Không đúng rồi, anh ạ, mình tiếp tục cái nha, rất đẹp anh ạ. Mấy gì? Còn một phần quà cuối cùng dành cho những con người đẹp nhất có thể. Phần quà cuối cùng ạ. Xin mời comment tiếp tục di chuyển, chúng tôi đang tìm kiếm người chiến thắng cho phần quà cuối cùng.
So welcome back to second half action, and it's going to be a very, very interesting one as we get straight into the thick of things at the Lockjoy Stadium. It's Myanmar and Australia locked in battle for the honor of being called Queens of the ASEAN World Football Arena in 2025. Yes, this is the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025, and the finale gets into its second period. At halftime, it was pretty much a goalless affair. You've also got Yun Wadi Haliang coming in for, well, Santho, who was injured earlier, and I think that's a bit of a worry because having her out of the side, Natasha, I think does make a bit of a difference. She's quite a solid player, and I do hope she's well.
San Tao Tao, of course, a player who has had 3 assists in this tournament. She plays a crucial role on the attack. So 2 early substitutions for the side of Myanmar.
Both to injury.
Both due to injury. Yan Wadilai playing now on the right side, and Chui Yitun on that left flank.
So waiting the start, of course, and the whistle, and here we go as Winthin Githun gets started with the action.
And at halftime stats as well, Australia, who had 68% ball possession, Myanmar with 32%. 7 attempts for Australia, 4 on a target. Only 3 chances made by Myanmar, but 2 were on target. But regardless, still 0-0 in this finals matchup.
Well, this event has to be one where you aren't going to expect, those goals to come in very easily when you're at this stage of the tournament. And it's been such a wonderful turnout. We will give you, of course, the crowd attendance number later on. But for now, let's remind you that the area, or the section that we are sitting in, is actually pretty much a packed area. And, the one opposite us, I'd say is about 40% full, 45% full. It's an interesting, game. It is the final of this event, and a lot of the Vietnamese fans have stayed back to cheer on both teams. Myanmar have got a very loud contingent, and they're pretty, very, very active. They've got the drums, they've got that big cheer going on. Having said that, here's Keen as she receives it. Well, up front, we'll try and create an opportunity. Sent ahead by Sasari. Good clearance there from, Team Myanmar. I do love these lads. That's a good bit of energy. So still, Well, while there's no change in the scoreline, there will be changes in strategy. That'll be just following the instructions of both coaches. Here's Furby. Gets it into the danger area, pulled away just in time. And that's what you require.
It's definitely been a very physical battle between these two sides.
Aggressive, if you ask me, and well, with that carrot hanging at the end of the stick, more than a carrot, it's a heavy trophy. But throw an opportunity, and it's taken there by Namyeon Mint. Just crossing the breadth of the field was Cassidy. Quick run up front from Grove. Did have a bit of obstruction there from Yunwadi. Chico. Almost receiving it back, but it's Tamet who'll get to it. Scoops that up. And it's going to be out of play just for the time being.
Australia are showing signs of really good interchanging plays, players moving, especially on the wing, taking up a lot of space, making those overlapping runs. But so far, with every kind of attack that Australia have made, again, they have been dominant, even with set-piece opportunities. Myanmar have been able to keep them at bay, have been organized in the back, doubled up on defense. So still 0-0 between these two.
So Grove, well, just creating an attack line from the left flank, and I do believe she's been active, ever since we got into the second period of play. Well, having said that, Myanmar, well, just taking it a tad bit easy. Here's Cassidy. That's pulled away, but not for too long. Well, the backup plan from Australia for interception has just been, well, absolutely phenomenal today. Well, if it's two players that sit together, one's going to get up and claim possession. That's exactly what happens right here. Australia is still very much in command. They have been, well, dominating possession for that first part of play in the second period. And this time the referee says, well, it's going to be advantage Team Myanmar just for the time being.
And at the moment, you could see as well for the side of Myanmar, when it comes to open play, they're playing very low. The midfield line with the defensive line very close together, and playing with that lone striker, big gap between that midfield line and the attacking player of Winteng-Yitun.
Well, that's so right, isn't it? Yunwadi, well, locked in a battle there, trying to pull it away, but Myanmar will win the benefit of that call. And I think it's absolutely right. Well, unnecessary. Grove there with the challenge this time around.
That's a closer look as well at the substitute, Yan Wadilai, who came in for San Tao Tao at halftime.
So it's Piu Win who will once again take that free kick. Oh, that was certainly goal bound, but Lincoln's got it. Not too difficult here for the Australian custodian to get it, but well done. Piu Win pretty much keeping her target practice, I'd say, intact. Sasha Grove back to a skipper. Tamet has got to figure out who she's going to pick. Decides it's best to get it down to the right. It's got Chico in there to help out. Bit of give and go there between Sun and Tamet. The long ball will find Keane. She's another player that, when she gets it, she will try and create opportunities.
And a very low defensive block line for the side of Myanmar, even as Australia enter their half.
Oh, that's defended pretty much on the line, and quick clearance there, would believe. But living life dangerously, you don't want to put that ball at the feet of the Australians. Well, the intent to clear was there from Sun U, but just a tad bit careless.
And as we said, as they play that low defensive block, players from Australia now from distance with the time and space to take their chances.
Well, I think the plan would be keeping in mind the fact that Australia, do press so hard, up front. And it's very high that they do play right through this game. They've been doing that. And I believe that Myanmar's got to pull out whatever stops they can, in their arsenal. Because let's just say that they spread themselves a bit too thin or space it out or launch into attack. And Australia's just going to sit on top of them. And there you have, we just spoke about Team Australia. And right up in front, there's always a chance for an attack. Tamet's done well today. She's really led her team very well, I believe. Well, I'd be thankful for the clearance, but at the same time, it was, Chico there, who was denied earlier. She was just returning Piu Win's favor, keeping that, attack, pretty much almost like payback here. So 53 minutes in. Yes, Sasha Grove.
And Chico, of course, with that delivery from distance, it was dipping right behind the goalkeeper. So crucial touch from Nguyen. And a little help from the crossbar.
Well, I think that would have definitely found the target. There's no doubt about it. It was so goal-bound here. Cassidy sidestepping it. Gomez will get in on it as she does the 360. Gomez still chasing it. And smartly played there by Zun U. Able to play that straight off Gomez just to avoid a corner opportunity. And
defensive duties for the side of Coach Tetsuro Uki. Myanmar defending in numbers.
Was just looking back at Coach Uki and remember the fact that he's played as a centre-back almost 379 appearances. Played for so many teams, including, Yokohama Marinos, a legendary Japanese club. Played for Ita Trinita, a couple of other teams. And back then, most of Japan played a very, very defense-heavy game. There were fewer attacks, and probably restricted to maybe one or two. Today's Japanese football is entirely different. It's midfield and attack heavy. And Coach Uki does bring that old style of play in here, which is very, very important. So Myanmar trying to get as close as they can. Yunwadi back again. She's making every effort that she can. She was very good in the previous outing too. And here's that young lady we spoke about, Lin U.
And we talk about, of course, the different styles of play. As we said, Myanmar, a very defensive team that's quick on transition, quick with the counter-attacks. And we take the example given of these two teams going against each other in that group stage. Possession doesn't necessarily always translate into goals.
Well, that's the age-old thing, isn't it? Sometimes teams with 10% possession win games. And that's the joy of the sport. But having said that, Zin U will defend. Did get a chance to run into, the Myanmar team yesterday. And, there's such a good bit of camaraderie between them. They're just a regular girls next door. They're having a hearty laugh, and that's going to be detrimental here for Team Myanmar. Yunwadi picks up a caution, and that's the last thing you want to do. A misdemeanor right at the edge of the box. Now that's going to put the ball right at the feet of Australia. And it's Gomez, who did get the nudge there. Wrong place, wrong time.
But that's the caliber as well that Isabel Gomez brings for the side of Australia. A player who plays for Central Coast Mariners has been so dangerous. When she has the ball, she attracts the foul in a dangerous area. Yan Wadilai was already beat. And that was a last-ditch defensive effort to bring Gomez down.
And there's only one person who's going to be grateful about the whole affair, and that's Cassidy. She just stepped up to take the free kick. So Australia have the opportunity to take the lead in the game. Oh, that's an excellent stop there from keeper Myanmar. That was certainly goal bound, beautifully done by Cassidy, and well matched there by the Myanmar keeper. Absolutely stunning play from the Matildas too. Well constructed. I do love the way that ball curved. Bend it like Cassidy. That'd be the right one to say. But what a stop there. Great save from the Myanmar keeper. She's been really, really good in today's game. And the joy of this match hasn't been in the goals, it's really been in the efforts and the saves. Having said that, both teams will be well aware of the fact that if they don't change the scoreline, that's going to go into added time. Here's Yunwadi as she knocks the ball ahead. Win Tiengi Thun right with it. Win Tiengi Thun will take it through. She's got two ladies to contend with. What will be her plan of action? Decides to send that up in the end. That delivery is going to be received with open arms by Chloe Lincoln. No worries here for Australia, and absolutely none for Myanmar. But having said that, still have two players who are out from the main, well, starting 11. But Myanmar have got a good bench strength, just like Team Australia. And it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be emotional, it's going to be, well, exciting for the next 13 minutes or so. Let's remind you once again that we are coming at you live from the Lok Chai Stadium in Hai Phong. This, of course, is in Vietnam, just a little bit of a distance, a couple of hours drive from Hanoi. Beautiful place, absolutely stunning. The people of this area have been really gracious hosts, very friendly, very, very helpful, very simple and down to earth. Absolutely love them. Great food, beautiful weather, and well, my name is Glenn Mascarenas. With me is my good mate and co-commentator Natasha. And Natasha, of course, was handling the games at VHE. She's made it a point to grace the occasion here for the knockout stage. And what a battle, Natasha. This is not the way that I envisioned it. I knew it was going to be tough, but I did think that it was going to be a goal in that first period. And there wasn't, and it's not down to the teams not being able to score. It's just how they've really prepared for the occasion. There's a lot of, homework that's been done before this game.
Exactly, and as we saw earlier, that chance from Cassidy, just hitting the woodwork as well. But the delivery, set piece opportunities, forcing Myanmar to make spectacular saves and create really good defensive efforts, has really kept this 0-0. It's been harder now for Myanmar to attack, as we see wave and wave of attack coming in from Australia. They're finding the gaps in between the defensive lines. Chances have been piling on, whether it's from open play, set piece opportunities, or from corner kicks. But Myanmar, solid as a rock.
Well, I think Keane's just drawing that out of Piu Win. Number 5 against number 5. Got an opportunity here. Cassidy will step up to take it. Oh, that's a stitch in time there. Myanmar know that they've got to defend no matter what it takes. Well, that's got to be that's really what this game is all about, isn't it? Australia is not willing to give up with the strike. Myanmar is not willing to give in. It's a bit of push and pull, and finally, time here for the ladies in red. Well, to get their feet up and running. Been sitting in a defensive shell for a good 15 minutes in this period. Big pass back there from Sun U to a keeper who's moved out too. Just trying to lead by example. I think, Myanmar would be saying, hey, let me get up front and maybe you guys will move back as well, rather than just stick around keeping me company. Here's Sun U. Well, it's moments like that you don't want to, without sight of a player behind. Well, Kim Thun just letting that pass through, and so that's going to go Australia's way. And at the receiving end of the misdemeanor, it was Cesari. Kim Thun. Well, the Gidzy party this time around. And once again, a familiar sight. Every time that you look at a figure there behind the ball, you know that it's Cassidy getting ready to take a free kick. She's had a few of them.
Nailed a lot of her deliveries as well. Georgia Cassidy, who plays for Perth Glory.
Well, I wonder if she's actually the only Perth girl in here, isn't she? As in the only Perth Glory player. A couple of them from Victory, Brisbane Roar, CCM. So
We also
Perth has a
have Grace
representation.
Johnson.
Oh,
So two of which
two of
play
them.
for Perth Glory.
So Perth does have a good representation. So does Queensland, so does the Central Coast, and so does Victoria.
And so, Australia have also done their best, picking the best of the best from the A-Leagues. Players spread out, playing all for different teams.
Well, one of the things I'd hate to see is this game settled, in a penalty shootout, and it's just not the way that I personally like it. But it's going to be so tough because 64 minutes in, there's still been no change in the scoreline. Both teams, are playing their heart out. There's no doubt about it. This is as tough as a match gets. Sasha Grove, good delivery in. Gomez gets behind it. And you don't want that to happen too often. Grove finding Cesari. That's good defensive measures being taken here. Maybe on Min to the rescue.
And that's really what happens when it's a finals matchup. Both teams not giving an inch. Everything on the line, everything to gain.
Just a bit dangerous there. I think Gomez would have just wished she was 2 inches closer. Tamet, bringing on the action here. Janchevsky was just having a word there with the opposition. So, 20 minutes into the second period. Wenthiangi Thun. Let's get the nudge over back again. And I do believe Myanmar have yet to craft a chance here in this part of the match. It's been all defense from them. Here's Keane. And that's found its way through. Australia have got the lead. Keane knew she was going to create an opportunity. Furby was backing it up. And that's exactly how it's turned out. It's 1-0. So Myanmar finally beaten there. And Keane does bring in, that threat every time she comes down the left flank. Australia 1, Myanmar 0. Holly Furby up there in front, 65 or 66 minutes in, and the breakthrough has finally been found. A bit unfortunate here for Myanmar. They defended tooth and nail, but if something had to give, it finally did at this point of time. We are going to give you a view of that goal back again, and this is how it all played out. Keane getting into the box, creating that opportunity. Absolutely a beautiful assist, and that deflection of Furby, really beating the Myanmar keeper.
And you wouldn't be surprised about who the players were that connected. Janchevsky gives the pass down the line to Keane. Keane, wonderful delivery, right behind the defensive line, but hard enough for the keeper to really come out And Furphy, who continues her run, just gets the slightest of touch to it and still finds the back of the net. It feels like deja vu all over again, because during that group stage matchup, it was also a keen delivery to Furphy, and that's how Australia were able to get the goal against Myanmar. And now again in the finals, that's how they put themselves on top. The three creative players connecting to be able to get that 1-0 advantage against Myanmar.
So just to replay, if you'd ask me, and I think that that's well done by Team Australia. Right place at the right time, and Furphy rushing in. Beautifully done here. So she's got a good bit of a strike rate going on against Myanmar. So 1-0, the tide has turned finally on 66 minutes with Holly Furphy, well, doing what was needed. I do believe if Furphy had connected that ball straight, it would have been covered by the Myanmar keeper. Having said that, here's Chloe Lincoln with the clearance, even as Win Thiengi Thun got a bit too close. But it's just that beautiful deflection off the leg, and that really made such a difference here. You knew that the Myanmar defense had to be outsmarted, especially the last line of defense. And Australia have got it in the bag for the time being. 68 minutes, Australia lead 1-0.
And of course, with a 1-0 lead for Australia, how will Myanmar bounce back and answer back to this? They had a game plan. They were playing low, compact, defensive, and trying to go for those quick counters. But now that they're down 1-0,
I think Noah, I just heard you saying that.
we got to see the tactical adjustments as well for the side of Coach Tetsuro Uki.
So it's Gomez who's down. I think Noah was right behind us. She did get a word there from the referee. Play will continue. It was Tamet who took the knock all a while back, but Cern now. Straight turnaround from Sasha Grove. Keane racing ahead. They'll be looking for Furphy all over again, but that's turned away. Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same spot, I would believe in this case. Throw-in opportunity.
The player that Aiden Keane is, really that speed that she brings on that left-hand side. It's been a hard day at work.
It's a bit deceptive, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's a slow runner to begin with, except when she gets the ball, and then that's just a change. It's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde syndrome. Very pacey up front, and really gives it her all. That's good defense put up there though by Myanmar. And if you need them to come to the party at the right time, I think now it is Piu Pei. So change coming on as Johnston will replace Furphy. I think Furphy's well earned her timeout. She's done an excellent job here. So well played by Furphy. Grace Johnston coming in for Furphy.
Holly Furphy will be bowing out of this matchup. Player plays for Melbourne Victory. And at the end of it, an assist and 4 goals to her name. She will be replaced by Johnson. So you can feel that it's a defensive substitution for the side of Coach Joe Palasides.
Well, Grove wrestling for the ball, but Yunwadi keeps the ball away from her. Myanmar know what they've got to do. It's 71 minutes in. They'll have to find the back of the net as soon as they can, because if they don't restore parity, they will see that championship drift away from them really soon.
Myanmar will definitely have to dig deep. It hasn't been an ideal start for them, have forced to make 2 substitutions early in this game. 1 right before halftime and 1 at the half due to injuries. in moments like this is really when the players off the bench will have to play a bigger role. You know, Win Tengitun is a dangerous player on her own, but it's a game of 11 players and not just one.
Well, I do believe they cut off they just cut off the supply system to Win Tengitun. And they've cut out the output from her as well. And if you've got her isolated, that was always going to be the ploy. And I think that that's going to be the ploy with any team that plays Myanmar. But Australia have played it so well to keep her away. And that's made such a huge difference here. But having said that, that scoreline tells us a story. It's not been a goal fest. It never was meant to be. So it will be interesting. Now White trying to create something here. Here's Yunwadi. It's going to be turned away. Bit of a loose shot there. You do want to try and hold on to the ball, create some sort of chance here up front. Got another player down. Well, just to reflect back, well, we talk of Win Tenggitun's 7 goals. There's been 66 goals scored in 16 matches here so far. Let's make that 67 in 17 matches, keeping in mind today's goal. That's an average of about 4.12 goals per match, and it will be interesting. Very, very strong strike we've had from some of the teams, and it may have been against some of the squads that did not finish where they would have liked to in the top register of the respective groups. Having said that, 74 minutes in, Australia still lead by a single goal. There's a bit of hydration that they'll get. We've also got a few changes that we are going to be looking at very soon, because getting ready, well, to come onto the pitch, it's going to be Win-Win. And Win-Win will replace, well, no Y, that Y.
So Win-Win checks into this matchup. She has 10 appearances, 8 goals to her name, who plays for Titsar Arman WFC. The young player, 22-year-old, checks into this matchup.
Well, let's hope she brings that name to the result in this game.
Pun intended.
Well, I'd absolutely love to have a name like that.
When you've got that winning in your DNA.
Absolutely. How positive can that be? Here's Sasha Grove. Keen once again. As always, Keen on another assist. Well, that's not going to be a foul. That's actually quite a clean, well, move there from, Lin U. Here's Pio Win. Coach Velocities wants a penalty, but I don't think it was. It's a good call there by the referee, Yoshimi Yamashita. So Australia, so we've got, well, not a bad attendance. We've got 4,286 in attendance. And remember, in the previous game, it was about 11,600. That was, of course, the home team playing. That's what I said earlier, very gracious. A lot of the Vietnam fans who love football have stayed on to support these ladies. Win-win. Well, did have the opportunity, but there's about 5 ladies in green and gold there in that box. Here's Pio Win. Win Tengitun. Needs to get a bit of assistance on the outside. Yunwadi. Or was she trying to assist, or was she going in for a goal? Yunwadi still with it. And if you're going to give the Australian defence just a little bit of time to think they are going to clear that, and I do believe Myanmar will have to just change a bit of strategy up there in front if they are to effect a change. Well, yes, what happened with Keen earlier, and it was Lin U touch on the ball as well, and I do believe there was definitely a call from the side
That was well timed from Lin Leu. And not only was she able to win that challenge, she was also able to pass that on out to Piu Piu Win as well.
She's a very unassuming player, isn't she? Just does the job. You know, she's always there behind to help out in defense. For all things said and done, no matter who wins this game today, these two are certainly, you know, the most deserving teams to be in the finale, and Myanmar have played such a stellar role. Cream of the crop definitely. You know, there's none of these two teams have got to this stage of the tournament through any luck or error from the opposition. It's really been their skill and their hard work, and whoever lifts the trophy today will be the real deserving winner. Having said that, there's still a bit of time, and Myanmar will have to try and avoid the green and gold lifting that trophy. 12 minutes left, plus a bit of added time. Gomez gets that into the danger area. Quick defensive measures being taken here. Myanmar able to ward off the threat, but for how long? Kim Thun now behind it. Try and get a bit of help there from, well, Yunwadi earlier, who was really active up front. But Australia back in possession. And it's just slipped past Grove, and we still have another player down.
Australia, of course, have strung together 365 passes, 179 passes for the side of Myanmar. They've had a good pass accuracy as well, 86%, as compared to Myanmar, 68%. And the corners created by Australia, 7 corners.
So it's just that edge, right? It's just that X factor, that little bit more. While we talk about that, talking about the X factor, we've got the Vietnam women's team, well, who actually stepped up to sit in front of us. And it's quite interesting. They've been a joy to watch as well. You know, you've got to hand it to them. And one thing that we kind of failed to mention, the Vietnam women's team have also been very, very gracious hosts. They really, regardless of how hard they play, they have been, well, gracious in victory and gracious in defeat as well. So Woods will be replacing Yanchevsky. And that's interesting because Alicia Kai Woods will come in, number 14 for number 13 to be precise.
Alicia Woods, who plays for Brisbane Roar, will be checking in to this matchup.
So you've got 2 Queenslanders in there, you think about it, or at least from Queensland clubs.
For, of course, Alana Yanchevsky. She did give the pass before the assist to get the goal. And she's been an integral part for Australia's side to get them all the way to the finals.
She's a key player, might have, you know, a day off in the entire tournament, but she's a key player and a quality player. You can see that very, very clearly, the way she goes about, you know, her duties on the pitch. So 1-1 here. Let's remind you that time is not your friend when you are a goal behind. And Myanmar will have to take that into account because we're looking at under 10 minutes left in regulation time. There'll be a bit of time thrown in for stoppages. Will that be, well, good enough? No one keeps anything towards the end. So the ladies in red will have to work as best as they can to find that equalizer to stay on course for the championship, or at least to give themselves a shot in the arm for it. Grove does trip over, and once again it's that young lady we've been watching, Lin U, knocks that ball out of play.
It is also just the slightest of leads, 1-0. Myanmar are still very much in this matchup and in contention for the finals, for the crown rather.
Well, with Australia keeping that pressure on them, then that's been the real problem, isn't it? You knew that they were going to keep coming at you, and that's what Keane did, and that's how that first goal came about. Will they do it in this, in the last few minutes left? Well, maybe not, but Myanmar weren't able to string any chances during that time, and I do believe that that pressure has, well, it's been a very good strategy from, you know, Coach Palasides. I think he's really, really done what was needed, and progressive thinking coach. The way that he's gone about, well, his work has been quite phenomenal. It's quite a study, actually, to watch something like that. I mean, this team that you're looking now is really prepped for the big occasion. They could go take on, well, other nations and play just as strong. That's pulled away from Yunbari. It's going to be a throw-in opportunity here for, well, Team Myanmar. We'll have to get a spring in their step.
And as we all know, for the side of Myanmar, Win Teng-Yitun has been quiet throughout, most especially this second half. And you think about the difference as well as how she played against Thailand. And you can see that frustration building up.
Absolutely.
Giving away a foul like that. But in that game where Myanmar played against Thailand, she played a wider role. And as she played on that wing, she was able to win the ball and get that goal from that. But now she's playing that target man, not a false nine or anything, but just as that lonesome target player. The Australian defenders have her covered. And you can tell that it's frustrating her.
Absolutely, she's been heavily marked, and you know, it's not a player like her to come out with a challenge like that and unfortunately grow with the receiving end of it. But Australia have just really kept that ball away from her like the plague. It's not been easy, and if I was in a boot, well, I'd be tearing my hair out. So, and that's really what the strategy is all about. You cut off the main supply to Win Teng-Yitun and everything changes. But more power to the other players as well. You know, they played a stellar role. The Myanmar keeper, what a performance from her today. So many attacks on goal, you know, while Australia have dominated, not only attack with possession, but 84 minutes in, and time is running out here. And Myanmar will have to put on their thinking cap soon enough if they want to bring about a change and stay on course for what could have been, or what could be, their third championship.
And also for Myanmar, their defensive line has been so good despite the wave and wave of attack of Australia. The Myanmar backline held strong.
That's a familiar sight for Cassidy. Back doing what she loves. She'll take the corner. She's the spot kick specialist for tonight. She's got a good foot on her. The ability to craft chances, excellent crosses and deliveries from her. Well, you've got mail, but not for too long. That's been rejected there by keeper Mio Nain. And I do believe that that is a bit of urgency for that. Because referee Yamashita is asking for a bit of help, but Lin Nu says, I'll just play on. Nothing's going to keep me down, and she's a tough cookie, isn't she?
Just gets a knock on it, but decides to get back up. Time not on the side of Myanmar. Only 5 minutes left for them to force this into overdrive.
Isabel Gomez. Well, says my jersey was stuck. I was down inside the box. And on 2 occasions that she's, well, you know, hit the turf that she's asked about it. And this is what transpired in there. And, well, right behind her, it was Mamion Mint.
And you could feel her frustration.
Well, it's happened at both ends, isn't it? But and Tamat, well, having a word there with the referee. I do love referee Yoshimi Yamashita. She will give you a hear, but she'll stick to a decision, and that's really powerful, isn't it? Well, that's going to be one ball just to say hello to the fans, but there aren't any sitting up behind there right now. Cassidy, she's done a big part here today. She's played such a stellar role. Also been very instrumental in the way that she's gone about her business. And Lin U, well, will come off. And we've also got, well, Kim Thun who comes off. And replacing them, it's going to be...
So Kin Marlartun and I comes in for Lin Le U and Kin Momotun.
Lin Le-o, replaced by player number 2. In win A, player number 10, King Mo-2, replaced by player number 20, King Ma-2. Đội tuyển quốc gia Myanmar với sự thay đổi người, cầu thủ số 11, Lin Le-o rời sân, cầu thủ số 2, Min Vinay vào sân, cầu thủ số 10.
And Kin Marlartun, as you can see, as she checks in and takes on the captain's armband. She is the most capped player for the side of Myanmar.
What a season player
Over
she is.
120 appearances to her name, 33 goals.
Well, I think a bit late. I would have, loved to have seen her in maybe, at about 75 or 80 minutes. I mean, listen, it's not like I know whatever the coach decides, that's his call, but would have loved to have seen her in, just keeping in mind the fact that time was running out for Myanmar, and her presence does bring in a little bit of aggression, a little bit of more order, to the side. But for all things said and done, Australia still staying on course for the championship. They can see the trophy beckoning, and the only thing standing in their path as of now is a couple of minutes and Team Myanmar. Here's Chloe Lincoln. We can't afford, well, to let the seconds slip by. We do know that we will have a bit of added time. There's been a couple of injuries in the second period of play, and I do believe that added time will add up to quite a bit, to repeat myself. But with Australia in the driver's seat, Myanmar really need a spark of brilliance here to turn things around.
And as we said, a lot of the chances have been falling for Australia. So let's see what the substitutes, I and Kin Marlartun, can do to help change the favor here for the side of Myanmar to keep them very much in this matchup.
Well, really looking to play that through earlier. Sasha Grove a bit long there with the pass. And that's just going to give, Chico a bit of time to close in. So Myanmar get close, but have to withdraw pretty soon. 6 minutes of added time is what we have as we cross the 90. 6 minutes of added time. And that's all that Myanmar have currently to get back into this contest. Here's Sun U. Well, does have a play on the tail, but not for too long. Yunwadi. Well, that certainly looked like it sailed out.
And you could feel the frustration from Coach Tetsuro Uki. Myanmar able to swing that ball around to find themselves in a bit of space closer to the attacking third.
And it's certainly something what Myanmar are going to look back and think on. They did so well to get here to this stage of the contest. Now it's all about being able to, finish things. And Myanmar still very much with it. A minute already into added time, 5 minutes left. Will Myanmar be able to come from behind to equalize here and push this game into extra time? Now that's a big question that we are asking as of now. But Australia will have that answer.
Another substitution will be made. 2 substitutions, in fact, for the side of Australia. Naomi Thomas Chinema comes in, as well as Abby Lemon. So defensive players are checking into the match for Australia. Lemon, who plays for Sydney FC, and Taylor Chinema, who plays for Perth Glory as well, both checking in. just to help Australia keep that lead, the smallest of margin leads against Myanmar. The last 4 minutes of this match.
Well, I think how difficult it was to really earn that lead. It makes that much more sense to preserve it with just about 4 minutes left. And I think that'll be, you know, the real intent here for Team Australia and the coaching staff as well. Abby Lemon, who's coming now, will try and stay rock solid to prevent a Myanmar attack. Having said that, Myanmar haven't really had many attacks on goal in that second period. It's been, well, quite a task for them. What a role played by this young lady, you know, Georgie Cassidy. Absolutely stunning play from her, and she's had a very memorable game. I'm sure the Australian fans, as well as Coach Palasides, well, does you know, acknowledge that and appreciate it. While we've had those changes on the pitch, I do believe Myanmar will still be keen on being able to craft something out of, well, this game. So 3 minutes left.
And as we said, of course, both these teams came up supreme from Group B. They went against each other in the opening fixture. And it feels just right that they're meeting once again here at the finals of the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. Of course, the event that showcases the best in ASEAN women's football.
Well, it's just a matter of time, isn't it? If Australia can just hold off that attack, and that's really what the plan is as of now.
Earlier today as well, for that battle for third, we saw Vietnam take that win 3-1 against Thailand. It was goals from Hayen, Huan Yu, and Bích Thuy to get that win for Vietnam. And in this matchup, it's time dwindling down. Australia get the slightest of leads. It was a goal care of Furphy.
Well, I think one of the key things when you think about you know, how Australia have played this game is they've really built on what they've had with every passing game, and finally here they are. Wouldn't come as a huge surprise if they win it, but Myanmar have made them sweat through their brow to have just got that single goal. And you know, if it wasn't for that, well, as I said again, that deflection, it would have not even been a goal. It would have just been, well, straight up at Holly, you know, doing really well there second time around. And I think it's going to be sweet payback for Australia as well, you know, just to even the score. They lost in round one, or it's in the group stages. Here they are in the final. You know, if they can win it where it matters the most, and Chloe Lincoln gets a yellow card for, well, delaying play. And I don't know whether it's Murphy's Law or it's just a formula, but winning teams that have a slender lead, their goalkeepers will always get a caution. And the referee will just having a quick word there with, well, Yunwadi, and it's going to be the coaching staff that will get a caution. Oh, there's no doubt about it. I think referee Yoshimi Yamashita knows that this is her turf tonight, and no one messes with her or the rules here. Absolutely, well, pacey run there once again. We've been discussing, you know, Adine Keane right through. So Australia will do their best to just keep Myanmar away from the ball. There's no doubt about it. That's the plan. If they get a chance to score, they will. And it's fairly solid once again. So Keane will receive it, and this is where it's all going to come down to the last few bits of play. Well, Johnston up there with Keane. It's a bit of a helping hand there from Woods. I do love the way that every time there's a foul, Australia asked for a card.
Australia trying their best to just keep the time running, waste as much time as they can down that left-hand corner. Myanmar, again, time not on their side, just trying to get things going.
And I think that was, well, just hoping for the final whistle there, I would believe. And, well, that was Johnston, Grace Johnston, when she heard the whistle blow. Team Australia, no, it's just going to take a couple of seconds, maybe a minute. And not anymore, there it is. As referee Yoshimi Yamashita brings the final of the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 to an end. And it is Team Australia who claimed the spoils on the back of a single goal. A goal struck there by Holly Furphy and, well, an assist by Adine Keane. That single goal is all it takes to be crowned Queens of the ASEAN in 2025. So all said and done, what a game this has been. Terrific battle, and I do believe, you know, Myanmar should be proud, as is the koala as well, Natasha.
It was a valiant effort for Myanmar. They truly played with their hearts on their sleeve. The game did not go in their favor. They had to make early substitutions. Players like San Tao Tao and Yu Perkin, the players who bring that attacking firepower to their side, ended up getting subbed off early in this game. And Australia capitalizing on that chance that they had. Jantevski connecting with Keane to find Furphy to get the lone goal in this finals matchup.
So final score here, it's Australia 1, Myanmar 0, with Australia being crowned champions of the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. It was my good mate Natasha and Miguel taking you through this match, and we'll catch you again when the next ASEAN Women's Championship well kicks in. And don't forget to join us. Thank you so much for being a part of the action. But before you go anywhere, stay with us for the prize presentation. And that comes up in just a little bit from now. But as far as game action is over, this is pretty much where it ends. Prize presentation in just a little bit.
Congratulations to you and Australia team because you are become the champion of the tournament. You are the one who scored the only goal. So what's your feeling right now?
I'm just so happy and I'm so grateful to be part of this team, and we've come such a long way with little preparation, and it's just such an honour to be a part of this team and to win this tournament. And congrats to Myanmar. They did an amazing job and they really put up a good fight. But I'm just so proud of our team and I'm really happy right now.
This is a tough match. How do you comment on the performance of Australia team and your opponent's performance?
Yeah, I think we started off strong. We held possession, and I think we were patient and we waited, and I think I just backed our girls so much, and we knew we had it in us the whole way. And Myanmar put that huge fight in, and they made it not easy for us at all. But it was a tough game, but it was a fun game. That's for sure.
Once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
What a pity that today Myanmar team cannot become the winner of the tournament, but you play a good match. What's your feeling right now after you lose the final match?
We trying for champion, but we cannot do so. We decide we very so sad because we very long time we come in again for final, so we want to champion. We try too much. We group stage semi-final. We only try, but last 90 minutes we cannot do. So I want to say my fan or our country fan. I want to say so sorry. We really try. We cannot. We are unlucky today. So thank you. So sorry for my country fan.
The match ended with the final result 1-0 win for Australia. Do you think this is a fair result? This is a fair result, the final result.
Yeah, fair result. They play also very well today. They play very well. We play a little bit unlucky, I think. So very fair and very good they play. Very congratulations to their team.
Okay, so with that next tournament you will become the champion.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fans, welcome to the vibrant city of Hải Phòng, your host for the ASEAN Women's Championship MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
Kính thưa quý vị đại biểu, các vị khách quý và người hâm mộ, ban tổ chức hân hạnh chào mừng quý vị đến với thành phố cảng Hải Phòng sôi động, đơn vị đăng cai giải vô địch nữ Đông Nam Á MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What an electrifying MSIG Serenity Cup final it has been. Tonight, we not only crown the champions of the region, but also celebrate the individuals who have led up this competition with passion, talent, and sheer brilliance.
Kính chào quý vị đại biểu, các vị khách quý và toàn thể người hâm mộ. Thật là một trận chung kết MSIG Serenity Cup bùng nổ. Và tối nay, chúng ta không chỉ vinh danh nhà vô địch của khu vực Đông Nam Á, mà còn tôn vinh những cá nhân đã thắp sáng giải đấu này bằng niềm đam mê, tài năng và sự xuất sắc của mình.
Let us now begin the official prize presentation ceremony of the ASEAN Women Championship MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
Và ngay sau đây, chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu lễ trao giải chính thức của giải vô địch nữ Đông Nam Á MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention for the prize presentation ceremony of the ASEAN MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
Kính thưa quý vị, xin mời quý vị hướng sự chú ý tới lễ trao giải của giải vô địch nữ Đông Nam Á MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
First, please welcome to the stage the guest of honor of the ASEAN MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
Đầu tiên, xin trân trọng kính mời lên sân khấu các vị khách mời của lễ trao giải.
So let's bring you back to the Luck Chai Stadium as the prize presentation is about to get underway.
President of the ASEAN Football Federation.
Xin trân trọng kính mời tướng Kim Samet, Chủ tịch
We
Liên đoàn
have
bóng đá
all
Đông
the
Nam Á
delegates who
AFF.
will walk up first. And it's going to be interesting because it's been a couple of days of real entertainment, real
Together
skill,
with His Excellency Hoàng
and
Đạo
real
Cương,
focus
Deputy Minister of
and
Culture,
discipline on
Sports
display.
and Tourism.
Xin trân trọng kính mời ông Hoàng Đạo Cương,
So
Thứ
while
trưởng
our
Bộ Văn hóa,
officials
Thể thao và Du
and
lịch.
our VIPs take to the stage, let's remind you once
We are
again
honored to invite Dr.
this will
Trần
be
Quốc Tuấn, AFC
the last bit of
Executive
action for
Committee
us
member,
in
Vietnam Football Federation
finale
President.
or in this
Xin trân
event,
trọng
which
kính mời
is
tiến sĩ
the
Trần
MSIG
Quốc Tuấn,
Serenity
Ủy
Cup
viên Thường vụ Liên đoàn
2025.
bóng đá châu Á, Chủ tịch Liên đoàn bóng đá Việt Nam.
They are accompanied by
Đồng thời xin trân trọng giới
And of
thiệu
course, to have all these VIPs
Mr.
present with us today.
Mariano Aneta, AF Vice President.
Tournament could not have happened without their support and their help. And it's really a testament to the growth of ASEAN women's
Miss
football,
Julia Tell,
great positive
ASEAN
momentum,
Women's Championship,
increased
MSIG
professionalization,
Serenity Cup 2025,
greater participation,
Head of
and of course,
Delegation
rising
AF
content
Female
and
Council
fan
member.
engagement all around.
Xin trân trọng kính mời bà Julie Theo, trưởng đoàn giải vô địch nữ ASEAN.
Let's not forget the
MSIG
teams that,
Serenity Cup
put up
2025 và
such a
ủy viên
show
nữ
for
hội
us.
đồng AFF.
And the teams, of course,
Mr.
that
Winston Lee,
stayed true to their
AF
path and
General
focused
Secretary.
on this
Ông
very
Winston
event.
Lee, Tổng thư ký AFF.
Women's football in Southeast
Mr.
Asia
Ted Kunau,
well, has an all-new
Football
champion, and it's been a
Federation
while
Vice
since
President.
Australia
Xin trân
wore
trọng
that
giới thiệu
crown.
ông Hathet Kunaung, Phó Chủ tịch Liên đoàn bóng
Myanmar
đá Myanmar.
got to the finale,
And
but
finally, Mr. Clement
fell to
Philippi,
a
CEO
worthy team
MSIG Asia.
and by only a
Và
single
cuối
goal.
cùng, ông Clemens Philippi, giám
So
đốc điều hành
we're going to
MSIG
step up with
Asia.
reminding you, of course, that we've also got the third best team that will be honored here, and that's the host nation, Vietnam.
First, we recognize
Also,
the
quick
match
mention there
officials for their professional and fair conduct throughout the competition.
All the lovely AirAsia girls who are
Ban
there.
tổ chức xin được ghi nhận và cảm ơn các trọng tài
On
đã
the
điều hành các
sidelines.
trận đấu với tinh thần chuyên nghiệp
And
và
here we
công
go,
bằng
the
xuyên suốt
unsung
giải đấu.
heroes, the unsung
Please
heroines
welcome
of
Mr.
the stage.
Winston Lee,
Our
AFF
officials
General
from today's
Secretary,
game.
to present the referee
Yoshimi
commemorative
Yamashita,
medals.
along with
Xin trân trọng kính mời
Makoto
ông
Bonsomo,
Winston Lee, Tổng thư ký Liên đoàn bóng đá
Superwan
Đông Nam Á,
Hinthong,
lên sân khấu
and
trao
Pansa
huân chương cho các
Chaisanit.
trọng tài.
And it also is a testament to
The
the female
medal
empowerment that
will
this
be
tournament has
awarded
had
to
all around, not only for the officials, the players,
Referee Yamashita
as well as
Yoshimi
earlier
from
when we had
Japan.
23 little
Trọng tài
girls
chính
that were
Yamashita
flown in,
Yoshimi đến từ Nhật
all
Bản.
from 7 different
The first
countries,
assistant
forming an
referee,
all-female
Bojuno
lineup
Makoto
of the
from
player
Japan.
escorts.
Trợ lý trọng tài một,
It's just
Bojuno
the attention to
Makoto
detail
đến từ
on
Nhật Bản.
every level that this
The
tournament
second
has
assistant
done.
referee, Superwan Hinthong from Thailand.
Trợ lý trọng tài
That is a
hai,
terrific
Superwan Hinthong đến
MSIG
từ Thái
initiative,
Lan.
isn't it?
The fourth
They've really gone
official
the whole 9
referee,
yards here.
Pansa Chaisanit from Thailand.
Trọng tài thứ tư, Pansa Chaisanit đến từ Thái Lan.
Reserve referee, Mu Mingxin from China.
Trọng tài dự bị, Mu Mingxin đến từ Trung Quốc.
The reserve assistant referee, Nuanit Dongjarit from Thailand.
Trợ lý trọng tài dự bị, Nuanit Donjarit đến từ Thái Lan.
And thank you to our referees for upholding the spirit of the game.
Xin trân trọng cảm ơn các trọng tài đã góp phần quan trọng vào thành công của giải đấu.
Next, we present the Adidas Rising Star Award, given to the youngest standout player in the competition, who has shown immense potential and maturity beyond her years.
Và ngay bây giờ tiếp theo,
First up, we're
ban
gonna
tổ
have
chức
the
sẽ được
Rising
trao
Star
giải thưởng
that'll be
Adidas
awarded.
Rising Star dành cho cầu
And as
thủ
is
trẻ
rightfully
nhất
said,
đã thi
somebody
đấu
who's
nổi bật
displayed
tại giải,
maturity.
thể hiện tiềm
I
năng
think
lớn
somebody who's
cùng sự trưởng
displayed
thành vượt xa
basically,
tuổi đời cầu thủ.
well, skill beyond their years.
To
Well,
present
that would be
the
the right
award,
one.
please welcome Miss Julia Tell, Asian Women's Championship, MSIG Serenity Cup 2025, Head of Delegation and AF Female
And we are
Council
going to,
member.
of course,
Xin trân trọng kính mời
we'll
bà
get a view of who
Julie
that
Theo,
player
trưởng
is.
đoàn giải vô
There's
địch
no
nữ
doubt
Đông
who
Nam
the
Á
top
MSIG
scorer in this event is going to be.
2025 và
But
ủy viên nữ hội đồng AFF
who is the
trao giải
rising
thưởng
star? Who is the
Rising
most
Star
valuable
Award.
player?
And
Well, that's
the
always
Adidas Rising Star
the big
of the
question.
MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 is Alana Jemsevsky, number 30
So,
from
Olena
Australia.
Yamchevsky,
Và giải
the
thưởng
number
này thuộc về
13.
cầu thủ số 13,
And
Alana
well deserved here, I
Jemsevsky
would
của
say,
đội tuyển nữ
Natasha. She's
Australia.
been quite a star in this tournament.
She's definitely played an impact role for the side of Australia. At the end of the tournament, 1 assist and 3 goals to her name. She has been dangerous in key moments in this matchup, in the finals, as well as throughout this tournament.
So Yanchevsky, definitely the future of Australian football. And Matilda has left an impression here in the ASEAN Women's Championship or the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
The Best Goalkeeper Award.
The best goalkeeper.
This award is
The best
given
shot
to the
stopper.
goalkeeper who has
The best
demonstrated exceptional reflexes,
custodian.
leadership, and consistency between the posts.
The best guardian of the 2 poles in the crossbar.
And
up here to take the award, and well deserved.
Please welcome Mr. Winston Lee, AFF General Secretary, to present the Best Goalkeeper Award.
It's interesting because Team Australia have actually formed a tunnel for all those that will go through to receive their medals. And here we have
the best
Myo 9,
goalkeeper of MSIG Serenity Cup 2025
goalkeeper.
is number 22, the goalkeeper,
The MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. The Myanmar custodian. What a performance from Natasha.
She was fantastic at the back all throughout this tournament. 20 appearances. She plays for Titsar Arman WFC. The 25-year-old gets the Best Goalkeeper Award. She helped keep her team intact and very much in the contention
Next,
until the
Myanmar
final
Top
whistle.
Goal Scorer Award. Now,
It's truly
we honor the player
a
who
shot-stopping
found the back of the
performance
net
from
more
her,
than
to be
anyone
fair.
else in this season.
Absolutely wonderful, and more power to her. Mia, do hope that she does well, that we're going to see her
The
again.
Myanmar Top Goal Scorer Award
Top
is
goal
presented
scorer,
to the player
definitely the
with
spark,
most
the
goals
shining star of this
across the
tournament
competition. A true
in terms of
marksman
goal
who
scoring
made every
abilities.
striker count.
And while Australia may have put the brakes on her, there's a good amount of respect for what she's done in the tournament and what she's capable of. And
Please
a very
welcome
well-deserved
Mr.
recipient
Mariano
of
Aneta,
this award. The
AF
girl
Vice
the lady
President,
who's
to
captained
present the
Myanmar
award.
through this event.
Here
she is, Win Thieng Ithun.
And now, the Myanmar Top Goal Scorer of the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 is number 7, Win Thieng Ithun from Myanmar.
Win Thieng Ithun. Also, the reason why Myanmar are right here, in the finale, she's really carried her team through, inspired them as well, Natasha.
Such an impact player and one of the standouts of this whole tournament. 7 goals of the 8 goals that Myanmar have created to her name. More than 80 goals already for the Myanmar national team. She's on the 14th list of top international women's goal scorers, and she averages a .96 goals per international outing.
This is the highest individual honor of the tournament, awarded to the
up
most
next,
valuable player who had consistently
it's going to be the most valuable player. The one player in this tournament that carries a massive bit of weight. The one player who's not only changed things around, but has also done very well to bring about a change. We're also looking at a girl who's been instrumental in a team being able to lift the championship.
CEO MSIG Asia to present this prestigious award.
And while we get ready, well, for that award, let's also remind you there's a couple more to go, including the third place team, the runners-up, and the winners.
Player number 9, Holly Furphy from Australia.
And Holly Furphy comes up next. Well, she scored against Myanmar in that group stage game. Scored against Myanmar again, has become the bogey player, or the bogey player for Myanmar in this event. And what a way to help her team win this championship. It's that goal that made everything possible. And a great performance from this young lady. And she deserves it, as she gives us an all-32 shining smile there.
And of course, that most valuable player, to a player that scores in the finals, it takes a different level to perform on big games, and she did just that here today, getting the only goal in the finals matchup to help Australia clinch the win and to be crowned the champions.
Started the scoring and ended the scoring for her team. What a way to go, isn't it? And up next, we do have, of course, the nations that will be honored.
His Excellency Hoàng Đạo Cương, Deputy Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism to present the award.
Xin trân trọng kính mời ông Hoàng Đạo Cương, Thứ trưởng Bộ Văn hóa, Thể thao và Du lịch trao giải thưởng này ạ.
And now, congratulations to the third place team, Vietnam Women National Team.
So the host nations team, the team that did provide us with much joy here, the team that drew in the crowds, the home team, it's Vietnam, who will step up. What a performance from these young ladies, absolutely stunning to watch them, as they claim, of course, the third best team. They've also, as I said earlier, more respect for them. They've been, well, such gracious hosts through this entire event, have brought real sporting spirit to the fore and courtesy. They've done an excellent job.
Despite not making it to the finals, they did make sure to win that third place battle earlier today against Thailand. It was a 3-1 win in favor of the host. They were fantastic all throughout this tournament and showed a great display here today.
They've got the lights and the fireworks going up here for Team Vietnam. Well, those are championship fireworks, I would believe. But it is a nation paying tribute to the women who've done extremely well for them. And right in front of the coach, Mai Duk Chung, is Kwan Nhu. Absolutely wonderful skipper and striker. Found the back of the net today as well. We said this earlier, she will leave a legacy behind the day she finally decides to hang up her boots, and that shouldn't be any time too soon.
Of course, in the match earlier, the three goal scorers, Hai Yen, Kwan Nhu, and Bích Thuy, all getting on the score sheet. The senior players, the veteran players, leading the way, leading the charge to get the third place finish for the side of Vietnam. Kudos as well, of course, to Coach Mai Duk Chung and to the whole Vietnam delegation. Truly a team that stands the test of time. They've proven and they're showing what happens when you have a group of girls that stay together throughout the years under one coach, and what they're able to achieve, and their style of play has always been so fantastic to cover.
Once again, congratulations to the third place team, Vietnam Women National Team.
Xin chúc mừng đội tuyển Việt Nam.
Now, the runner-up medals. Let us acknowledge the proud effort of our finalists.
So
They
up next,
fought valiantly throughout the tournament
the
and
second
deserve
best team
every
of this
accolade.
event.
Và ngay
The
sau
team
đây,
that almost
chúng ta hãy cùng vinh danh những nỗ lực của đội
almost
tuyển Việt
lifted
Nam.
that trophy, but
Họ đã chiến đấu
will be
kiên
back
cường
another
trong
day.
suốt giải đấu và xứng đáng nhận mọi
They
lời khen.
delighted us with their performance,
Please
their
welcome
discipline,
Mr.
their
Ted
gutsy
Kunnaru,
demeanor to take
Myanmar
on
Football Federation Vice
teams,
President, to present
matter how big,
the runner-up medal
no
to
matter
the
how
Myanmar
fast,
team.
and no
Xin
matter
trân
how
trọng kính
aggressive.
mời ông Ted Kunnaru, Phó Chủ tịch Liên đoàn
It's
bóng
been a
đá
joy to
Myanmar,
watch them in
lên
action.
trao huy chương bạc cho Myanmar. Đội
And it'll
áo
be a
quân của
joy
chúng
to
ta.
see well them back again
And
on the
now,
stage.
congratulations to the runner-up team,
Here we go.
Myanmar Women
Myanmar,
National Team.
As Win Peng Yi Tun
Xin chúc
will
mừng đội
lead
áo quân
our ladies onto the stage.
And as I've said, a valiant effort from the runner-ups. They were resilient all throughout this tournament. They played with their heart on their sleeve. They fell short in the finals, but head held up high. Very proud outing from this Myanmar side.
Well, if there's one thing that we came here for in the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025, when we got here on the first day itself on match day 1, on the 6th of August 2025, we were expecting a contest, and every team has delivered. Every single team that took part in this event, well, has been a delight to watch for a football fan. And here as we go, Team Myanmar will graciously accept, well, the second best team honor. And we do have an injured player being carried as well. And that's what teammates do. That's what teammates do best. And, well, that's the way it should be. No one to miss out on the joy. And that's the coach, Turo Uki, a wonderful man. He's been a great guide and mentor to his team as well. And what a joy and honor for us to have seen his finesse and skill on display with taking these ladies all the way to the ultimate stage of the tournament. Up next, of course, it'll be our winners. Do stay with us as the champions get ready to come on. We've totally ignored the mascot, of course, who's been dancing right through the entire prize presentation, and we get a camera on him. You've got to get a view of the mascot.
And once
Absolutely
again,
delightful.
Congratulations to the runner-up team, Myanmar Women National
So
Team.
Myanmar have a lot to be proud of. A lot. And they will inspire a whole generation of footballers as well as contemporaries, you know, back home in Vietnam. What a joy.
They were one of the underdogs in this tournament, and to make it all the way to another finals, it was a great team effort. And nothing but up for the side of Myanmar. It will be exciting to see what else the coach can do with his team.
The moment we've been on waiting for.
And here we go, the green and gold, the Matildas.
Champions medal in the MSIG Serenity
And these
Cup
Matildas are not going to be
welcome.
waltzing tonight, but they'll be doing the samba, the salsa, or anything else. Get a bit of underground hip hop in there as well. But these ladies have earned the right to be called queens of the ASEAN, well, football arena.
Please welcome Mrs. Julia Tell, ASEAN Women's
And if there was a story to write in this event, you've got to hand it to Team Australia. Started on the back foot, came from behind, went stage by stage, took each game for what it was worth, absorbed, understood, learned, unlearned. And here they are, the proof in the pudding. It's just one thing, the victory at the end of this tournament. What an event it's been. So a lot of respect from us to the champions.
They were a team that had a tough start, but quickly they were able to turn things around. After losing that very first match, they never looked back and climbed their way to the top. And resilience shown by this squad to be crowned the queens of this tournament.
You know, that's the good thing about the Australians, right? Team Australia, the Matildas, they play hard. They come at you as heavy as possible, but they're always gracious at the end of any event. And it's not just I'm not taking anything away from them. It's not just in football. It's in any sport that you think about. But they come to compete, and that's the heart of the matter. So Australia have got the honor, and when they return for the next edition of the ASEAN Women's Championship, they will come back as defending champions. And here we go, the Matildas, along with the coaching staff.
They've had a tough task to reach the finals, to get the win. They lost their opening against Myanmar. Then they beat the defending champions, the Philippines. And they finished the group stage round in style, beating Timor-Leste 9-0. In the semi-finals, they beat the host nation, Vietnam, 2-1 before clinching it.
Which of course was actually probably the most exciting or thrilling match of the contest. It was just outstanding. Not taking anything away from this was such a beautiful game. But
now,
Australia played that like
because
final.
of this glorious moment, please, the captain, Tori Tumet. May you come forward
And the lady to lead them today,
the
Tori
Trophy
Mary
on behalf of
Tumet.
your team.
Và bây giờ,
Will
để
be
bắt đầu
awarded
thành
the
các
trophy.
huy hoàng của nhà vô địch, xin mời đội trưởng Tori Tumet tiến lên nhận chiếc cúp vô địch MSIG Serenity Cup thay mặt
And here
cho
we have
toàn
it.
đội.
For everyone that's stayed with us through this event to join us today,
Once
the new
again,
champions of the ASEAN
congratulations to
Women's
the
MSIG Serenity Cup
Serenity Cup
2025.
champions.
It is Team Australia, and those green and gold streamers will tell us a story. Because the Matildas will come back as defending champions in 2026 when the ASEAN Women's Championship will kick its proceedings back into action. What a joy it's been here. Thank you so much for sharing the action with us, for being with us, and we're going to leave you with the Matildas and their celebration, which will continue well into the hours of the early morning. But what a joy to have you with us, Natasha, and I do hope that you had, a really good time covering this event.
It's definitely a spectacular experience all around for all the players, for the whole quality production, for bringing this tournament onto that next level. Thank you for having me. My name is Natasha Alkiros.
And from me, Glenn, so from Natasha and me, Glenn, it's time for us to shut shop and ship out of here and to say thank you once again for being a part of this event. And we'll catch you again the next time around, because we'll be back to bring this action to your screens. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now. Stay well. And don't forget, always, when it comes to ASEAN football, stay with us and keep that support alive.
Đã góp phần tạo nên một mùa giải MSIG Serenity Cup thành công xứng đáng.
Thank you to our partners, sponsors, officials, our host Vietnam Football Federation, led by Dr. Trần Quốc Tuấn, and the province of Hải Phòng. Most importantly, the fans.
Xin chân thành cảm ơn các đối tác, các nhà tài trợ, quan chức đơn vị đăng cai, Liên đoàn bóng đá Việt Nam, đứng đầu là Chủ tịch Trần Quốc Tuấn và thành phố Hải Phòng, và đặc biệt là hàng tỷ và hàng ngàn người hâm mộ đang có mặt tại sân vận động Lạch Tray.
We look forward to seeing you again in the next edition of the MSIG Serenity Cup. Good night from all of us.
Hẹn gặp lại quý vị ở giải MSIG Serenity Cup tiếp theo. Xin chúc quý vị một buổi tối tốt lành.
I've made a few. I've had my share.